Have you ever watched a bird take its first flight? It's a moment filled with hesitation, fear, and uncertainty. But once it spreads its wings and leaps, something magical happens. It soars. What if I told you that the secret to unlocking your potential lies within that tiny bird's journey? Why do so many of us feel stuck, doubting our capabilities, and hesitant to take that leap? Could it be that we underestimate the strength we already possess? In today's video, we're diving into a powerful story of a bird that will not only inspire you, but also reveal a life-altering lesson about self-belief, resilience, and the courage to embrace challenges. This isn't just a tale of feathers and flight. It's a metaphor for our lives. Like the bird, we all face moments of doubt, times when the ground feels safer than the open sky. Yet, the most incredible transformations happen when we dare to step out of our comfort zones and trust ourselves. So, whether you're battling self-doubt, hesitant to start something new, or simply in need of inspiration, this story is for you. It's a reminder that no matter how small or incapable you might feel, the ability to soar is already within you. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll not only see yourself in a new light, but also understand the extraordinary power that lies within the words, "Don't underestimate yourself." High up in the branches of a towering tree, a mother bird sat in her nest. Beneath her, tiny eggs nestled safely, their fragile shells holding the promise of life. Days passed, and with time, those eggs began to crack one by one. From each emerged a small, trembling chick, covered in soft down feathers, their eyes barely open to the world around them. One particular chick, smaller and frailer than the rest, seemed to struggle more than its siblings. While the others chirped eagerly for food, this little one hesitated, unsure of its place. Even in those early days, it seemed the odds were stacked against it. As the days went by, the mother bird began teaching her chicks essential skills for survival, pecking for food, observing predators, and eventually the art of flight. For the smaller chick, these lessons felt insurmountable. While its siblings flapped their wings and practiced short hops, it stumbled and fell repeatedly. The little bird's heart sank each time it watched others succeed where it failed. "Maybe I'm not meant to fly," it thought, retreating to the corner of the nest. The mother bird, noticing this hesitation, nudged the chick gently. "You have wings just like the others," she said. "The sky doesn't care how small you are. It's yours to claim too." The little bird's greatest fear wasn't flying. It was falling. The distance from the nest to the ground seemed endless, a chasm too wide to cross. It wondered, what if I try and fail? What if I can never fly like the others? Isn't this fear something we all relate to? We often stand at the edge of new opportunities, too paralyzed by the fear of failure to take the first step. Like the little bird, we see the risks but forget to consider the possibility of success. In many ways, the little bird's struggle mirrors our own. We feel inadequate, comparing ourselves to others who seem to excel effortlessly. We become trapped by our fears, unwilling to test the strength of our wings. But just as the bird's journey isn't over, neither is ours. With every failed attempt, there's a chance to learn, grow, and eventually soar. The little bird's story reminds us that growth begins when we face our fears, no matter how daunting they seem. The little bird's journey has just begun. Ahead lies its greatest challenge, a test that will either confirm its doubts or awaken its hidden potential. What will it take for the bird to overcome its fear? How will it find the courage to leap from the safety of the nest? As we move into the heart of this story, think about the challenges you've faced in your own life. What fears hold you back? What would happen if you decided to trust in your ability to rise above them? Let's find out what happens when the bird is forced to confront its deepest fear and take a leap of faith. It was a warm morning, and the sun bathed the nest in a golden glow. The mother bird chirped loudly, signaling it was time for the chicks to try their first flights. The stronger siblings flapped their wings enthusiastically, their excitement mingled with nervousness. One by one, they jumped off the edge, fluttering awkwardly before landing safely on a nearby branch. But the smallest chick stayed behind. Its heart raced as it peered over the edge of the nest. The ground below seemed impossibly far away, and the distance to the nearest branch felt insurmountable. "I can't do this," it whispered to itself. "What if I fall? What if my wings aren't strong enough?" The mother bird perched beside it and spoke gently. "Your wings are stronger than you think, but you'll never know their strength if you don't try. The only thing that can truly make you fall is your fear." With that, she nudged the chick softly toward the edge. Summoning all its courage, the little bird spread its wings and leaped. For a fleeting moment, it felt weightless, as if it were gliding effortlessly. But then panic set in. It began to flap wildly, its movements uncoordinated and frantic. Gravity pulled it downward, and it landed clumsily on a bush below the tree. The bird lay there for a moment, stunned. "I knew it," it thought bitterly. "I wasn't meant to fly." But as it looked up, it noticed its mother watching from above, her eyes filled with pride. "You didn't fall," she called out. "You flew. Maybe not perfectly, but you flew, and tomorrow you'll fly even better." For the first time, the little bird realized that its fear of failure had been greater than the fall itself. Days turned into weeks, and the little bird practiced diligently. Its confidence grew with each flight, though doubt still lingered in the back of its mind. Then, one fateful afternoon, dark clouds gathered overhead. A storm was brewing. The winds howled, shaking the branches violently. The little bird clung to the tree, terrified. Its siblings had already flown to safety, but it remained paralyzed, unable to move. Suddenly, a powerful gust dislodged the branch it was perched on, sending it tumbling into the air. For a moment, everything was chaos. The wind roared in its ears, rain lashed against its feathers, and it spun uncontrollably. But then something remarkable happened. Instinct took over. The little bird stretched its wings wide, stabilizing itself against the wind. Instead of fighting the storm, it began to glide with it, using the gusts to lift itself higher and higher. At that moment, the bird realized a profound truth. The storm wasn't an obstacle, it was an opportunity. By the time the storm passed, the little bird was soaring above the treetops, its wings cutting gracefully through the air. What had once seemed impossible now felt natural, even exhilarating. When it returned to the nest, the mother bird greeted it with a knowing smile. "You see," she said, "the strength to fly was always within you. The storm didn't break you. It showed you what you were capable of." The little bird's journey wasn't just about learning to fly. It was about discovering its inner strength. Each challenge it faced, the fear of falling, the clumsy first flight and the storm, was a stepping stone that pushed it closer to realizing its true potential. It understood now that underestimating itself had been its greatest limitation. The world had always been within its reach. It simply needed the courage to claim it. How often do we, like the little bird, let fear dictate our actions? How many opportunities have we missed because we doubted our abilities or overestimated the risks? The bird's story reminds us that our true strength is revealed not in moments of comfort, but in times of challenge. Every storm you face, every setback you encounter, is a chance to discover just how strong you truly are. As days turned to weeks, the little bird became more confident in its abilities. It could now glide effortlessly through the air, and even enjoyed the feeling of the wind beneath its wings. But life, as always, had more lessons in store. One day, while flying near the edge of a dense forest, the bird noticed something unusual. A group of large, unfamiliar birds circled above, their movements graceful and commanding. Intrigued but intimidated, the little bird perched on a nearby branch, watching them in awe. "What are they doing?" it wondered. The larger birds were falcons, masters of the sky, and they were engaged in a form of aerial display that looked like a game but required exceptional skill. They dived, soared, and spun with precision, their strength and confidence unmatched. The little bird felt a pang of self-doubt. "I could never be like them," it thought. "They belong in the sky. I'm just a small bird that got lucky." But then one of the falcons noticed the little bird watching. With a sharp, powerful dive, it landed gracefully on the branch beside it. The falcon observed the little bird for a moment, then said, "You seem to admire our flight." "I do," the little bird replied timidly, "but I could never fly like you. You're strong, fast, and fearless. I'm just me." The falcon tilted its head as if amused by the response. "Do you know how I became strong? Fast and fearless?" it asked. The little bird shook its head. "I wasn't born this way," the falcon said. "When I was young, I was just like you, afraid, unsure, and convinced that I wasn't good enough. But here's the truth. Strength doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from facing your fears again and again, until they no longer control you." The little bird was silent, absorbing the falcon's words. "Do you see that clearing over there?" the falcon continued, pointing with its wing. "It's the perfect place to test your limits. If you're ready, I'll fly with you." The little bird hesitated. The clearing was open and vast, with no trees to land on if something went wrong. It was terrifying, but also an opportunity. "I'll try," it said finally, its voice trembling but determined. The falcon took off first, circling above the clearing and signaling for the little bird to follow. Summoning every ounce of courage, the little bird leaped from the branch and joined the falcon in the open sky. At first, its movements were hesitant and clumsy, but the falcon guided it, calling out encouragement. "Trust your wings, feel the wind, let go of your fear." Slowly but surely, the little bird began to relax. It stopped flapping wildly and started to glide, feeling the wind's currents and adjusting its wings instinctively. For the first time, it wasn't just flying, it was soaring. Then the falcon issued a challenge. "Now dive, trust yourself and dive." The little bird hesitated, fear creeping back in, but it remembered the falcon's words. Strength comes from facing your fears. With a deep breath, it tucked its wings and plunged downward. The rush of the wind was exhilarating, and just as it neared the ground, the bird opened its wings wide, pulling itself up into a smooth ascent. The falcon cheered from above, and for the first time the little bird felt not just capable, but unstoppable. As the two birds landed back on a branch, the little bird's heart swelled with pride. "I didn't think I could do that," it admitted. The falcon smiled. "That's the thing about underestimating yourself. It blinds you to your true potential. You've always had this strength within you. You just needed to see it for yourself." From that day on, the little bird approached challenges with a new mindset. It understood now that fear was part of growth, not a sign of weakness. Every leap, every dive, every storm was an opportunity to discover more of what it was capable of. Think about the challenges you face in your own life. How often do you stop yourself from trying because you're convinced you're not ready or good enough? The truth is, just like the little bird, your potential is far greater than you realize. When was the last time you truly tested your limits? When did you last take a leap of faith, trusting in your abilities, even when the outcome was uncertain? The little bird's story teaches us a profound lesson. Growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zones and embrace the unknown. So the next time doubt creeps in, remember, you are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you imagine. Lesson 1. Growth requires discomfort. The little bird's journey teaches us a fundamental truth. Growth begins at the edge of our comfort zones. The bird never would have learned to fly if it had stayed in the safety of the nest. Similarly, in our lives, real progress comes when we face challenges that push us to our limits. Think about the times when you've grown the most, whether it was mastering a skill, overcoming a fear, or achieving a goal. Chances are those moments were marked by discomfort, uncertainty, and even failure. But like the bird's awkward first flights, those experiences helped you discover strength you didn't know you had. Takeaway: don't avoid discomfort. Embrace it as a sign that you're growing and moving forward. Lesson 2. Fear is a companion, not an enemy. One of the most profound lessons from the little bird's story is that fear is not something to eliminate. It's something to understand. Fear kept the bird cautious and safe at first, but it also became an obstacle. Only by confronting that fear did the bird learn to soar. In our own lives, fear often masquerades as a protective instinct, convincing us to stay in situations where we feel safe. But the cost of giving in to fear is the loss of opportunities to grow, achieve, and fulfill our potential. Takeaway: acknowledge your fears, but don't let them dictate your actions. Use them as a signal that you're on the verge of something important. Lesson 3. Your potential is greater than you realize. The little bird's transformation, from a hesitant chick to a confident flyer, wasn't because it gained new abilities. It was because it discovered the abilities it already had. The bird didn't need to be anyone else or have extraordinary powers. It simply needed to trust in its wings. This lesson is a reminder that we too often underestimate ourselves. We focus on what we lack rather than what we already possess. The truth is that most of us are capable of far more than we think. The problem isn't ability, it's belief. Takeaway: stop underestimating yourself. Your strengths are already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Lesson 4. Challenges are opportunities in disguise. The bird's most defining moment came during the storm, a situation that initially seemed like a disaster. Yet the storm became the very thing that propelled it to new heights. The bird learned to work with the wind, using it to soar higher than ever before. In life, challenges often appear as insurmountable obstacles, but with the right perspective, they can become stepping stones to success. Every setback, failure, or hardship is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger. Takeaway: see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to discover your resilience and resourcefulness. Lesson 5. Seek guidance, but trust yourself. The falcon's role in the little bird's journey highlights the importance of mentorship. The falcon didn't fly for the little bird. It guided and encouraged it. Ultimately, the bird had to make its leaps and trust its wings. In our lives, mentors and guides can provide invaluable wisdom and support, but the final steps of any journey are ours to take. True growth comes from trusting ourselves and taking action, even when the path feels uncertain. Takeaway: learn from others, but remember that your journey is uniquely yours. Trust yourself to leap. The story of the little bird isn't just a tale about flying. It's a metaphor for every challenge we face. Whether you're starting a new job, pursuing a dream, or trying to overcome a personal fear, the lessons are the same. Point 1. Step out of your comfort zone. Point 2. Face your fears and leap. Point 3. Believe in your abilities, even when you doubt them. Point 4. See challenges as opportunities to grow. Point 5. Seek support, but trust in your strength. The sky is vast and open, waiting for you to claim it. Don't let self-doubt clip your wings. Like the little bird, you have everything you need to soar. The question is, will you leap? As we come to the end of this story, let's take a moment to reflect. The little bird started its journey filled with doubt, fear, and uncertainty. It stumbled, it fell, and at times it wanted to give up. But with each challenge it faced, whether it was learning to fly, weathering a storm, or trusting itself, it discovered a strength that had been within it all along. This isn't just the story of a bird, it's a story about you. Like the little bird, you might face moments of self-doubt, fear of failure, or challenges that feel too big to overcome. But remember this: the strength to soar is already within you. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or have all the answers. The only thing standing between you and your potential is your willingness to take that first leap. So, as you go about your day, ask yourself, what's the leap you've been afraid to take? What dream, goal, or challenge have you been putting off because you've underestimated yourself? If this story resonated with you, let it be a reminder to never let self-doubt hold you back. Take that first step, spread your wings, and trust in your ability to rise above. And if you found this message inspiring, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button and share this video with someone who might need a little motivation today. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more stories and lessons that empower you to live your best life. Your journey is just beginning, and the sky is the limit. Believe in yourself, leap, and start soaring. You've got this.